Hey, Real Green Ninja here. Today we're going to talk about how to round your price increases. So let's begin. Let's say, for example, you want to do like maybe a 5% price increase across the board, but you want all your prices to end at an even dollar amount, or maybe to the nearest quarter or something like that. You can do that, but you do have a little bit of preparation first. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go to Data, Company Parameters, General Setup. And under General Setup in the Miscellaneous tab, there is a round to or round up to the next or the nearest. Now, again, this is one of those things where if you're planning to do your price increases and want it to end even dollar amount, you may keep it set this way going forward, but you also want to make sure to get any price charts adjusted as well. But keep in mind, this is a global setting. This will affect any time it has to calculate a price. So again, if it's one of those things where you want to just do your price increases to the even dollar or quarter or nickel or whatever it's going to be, then and you don't want the prices in the future to round like that, you will need to come back here and set it back to where it was. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into edit mode, and then you're going to say off to the nearest, which means it's going to follow the normal rounding rules where 4 lower rounds down, 5 or higher rounds up, and then you're going to select what you want to round to the nearest to. So let's say we want to round to the nearest dollar when we do our price increases. Alright, we're going to hit save on that setting and then close that. Then we're going to go to our price increase utility, which is under utilities, price increase utilities, and keep in mind the price chart is for the price chart, and obviously the price increase utilities for everyone else. So what you're going to do is you're going to come in here and you're going to set your criteria. Now I do have an example customer, Larry, here. Let's take a look here, 2016 season, and you'll see he has 36.87 per round. Now again, this is one of those things where you want to make sure to make a manual data backup before you do anything. Now I've already made my backup, but like I said, you want to make sure to do a manual data backup because you'll want to come back to the customer, make sure everything looks right, because if you didn't hit the wrong checkbox or put the wrong number in or something like that, the only thing we can really do outside of going to every single individual customer is to actually restore the backup and then do it again. Another important thing is we want to make sure we're doing it for the correct service year. So again, I want to increase my prices for 2016 because I just already done my renewals, and again, you want to make sure you do it for the correct service year. You don't want to use it for the prior year simply because if you have customers that have like prepaid money set aside, then suddenly their prepaid money is not going to be enough to cover all their services. I did do a video on how to do price increases, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'm going to select my lawn care program there. Again, this is what this customer has in 2016 for 36.87 a round. I'm going to come down here, I'm going to put in my percentage, and let's say I'm doing a 5% across the board. Again, I'm rounding to the nearest dollar. You can put in your minimum and maximum and so on and so forth, but what you're going to do is once you get all your criteria in, get programs jobs. Oh, didn't show up anything. Give me 1 second here. What may I have missed? Oh, might help if I actually pick the branch. There we go. Okay, there we go. And you'll see there's Larry right there. Now, when I hit the calculate price increase, you'll see that his Larry's 36.87 is actually going to bump up to $39. So again, you'll notice all these standard prices are now an even dollar amount. Why? Because I went into data, company parameters, general setup, miscellaneous, and said round off to the nearest dollar. So again, this is one of the reasons why you make a manual data backup, because you might realize you may actually want to round up to the next, because again, it would follow the normal rounding rules right now where it's set off to the nearest. Alright, once we have everything in there, again, we're going to perform a price increase. Again, it's going to say make sure to do a data backup first. I already did mine. Hit yes. It updated the price. I come into the customer's account here. I push F5 or change tabs to refresh the information. And you'll now see his rounds are at $39. So again, you can do your price increases and have it round to the nearest quarter, round up to the next quarter, round to the nearest dollar, and so on and so forth. You just got to make sure to set that in your data parameters. Now, if in the future you do not want it to round, and again, it was only the price increases, we're going to go back to general setup, go to miscellaneous, hit the edit button, set it back to where it was, and then hit save, and there you go. So like I said, you can do it. Also, one little strategy on that, I actually did have a customer who wanted to round or do a 5% price increase across the board, wanted all the prices to end at 95 cents. Took about half an hour, but pretty much what we did is we set it to round, and then we did a price decrease of 5 cents. Now again, it's one of those things you got to be really, really careful with. In that case, we actually made 2 data backups. The first one for before we did the rounded increase, and then before we did the nickel decrease. So like I said, it's always very important. Make sure to make those data backups, especially something that deals with money, in this case pricing. So I hope that helps, and you guys have yourself a wonderful day.